Alrighty, hello, and welcome to today's stream. We are live, we're late, but we are live. Got off of work, I guess an hour ago now, but yeah. Fun times, 2 Saturdays in a row, had to attend a meeting, Saturday morning, 8 a.m. Fantastic. It was great. Fantastic. But I digress. Let's hop in here as the agenda on the screen there. Yeah, we're gonna be doing a little bit of champion training. Obviously, that's going on. We're working on the fusion. Nope, it's a tournament. The champion training tournament is live and kicking. So we're gonna be working on that. I have all of my clan shop energy. We're gonna throw into this. So we're gonna do that, and then, excuse me. Then we're gonna be trying our luck in the Cursed City with S8. I built up Esme the Dancer, and we're gonna see if she can do anything. And if not, then we're hard stuck. So we'll see about that. And then I've been sitting on some relic stuff for a while, so we're just gonna blast through all of this crap and forge a bunch of stuff, and hopefully we can get some cool things. Yeah. How's it going, Gidu? What's up, Pad? Finally came to the start of the stream. Only took it being late. Yeah, well, hopefully this is not a continual pattern that I have to work Saturday mornings. I do have a full-time job, for those who are curious. This is my part-time full-time job, as I like to call it. But yeah, greetings from Scandinavia. Which part? Which part? Is that, oof. Geography is not my strong suit. Is that Sweden? Finland? Sweden? What was the other country up there? Norway? One of those three. One of those three isn't. I think. I'm the worst at geography. Afternoon, Dana, or however you say that. How was my CVC? We lost. We got snaked. It was pretty tragic. I think we were ahead when I went to sleep, but just due to time zones, when I go to sleep, there's like 4 or 5 hours left, and just while I was asleep, they came back and beat us by like 300k or something. So we didn't win the PR, but we got all of the T6 rewards at least. Would I go for the fusion if I had Georgid? That would not be a factor in my decision, but that is coming from a position of absolute abundance. I do every fusion, regardless of whether or not I plan to use them. So I would do her, or what? I would have gone for her regardless. But am I in the right faction? No, she's undead. Or no, I was thinking of Georgid. But no, if I had Georgid, I'd be using him for sure. But they're kind of different though, right? Well, I guess you'd build them in a similar way. You kind of want them to be on the. It kind of depends. I don't know. You don't see Georgid as much anymore. But if I had Georgid, I would build him kind of like how I build my Mezamel, where, excuse me, I'd be super fast, and I would, ignore Stone Skin on the slower people. Try to go for the kill, get the unkillable. Whereas for Maria, who I may rope her into the rotation, I don't know yet. We'll see. But this is nice if you set her up with the buffs and she could potentially remove Stone Skin and then kill somebody. But running her into Stone Skin is not going to do a whole bunch. So I think on my account, she wouldn't be like super fast because she doesn't ignore Stone Skin. So maybe she'll go after Marius or go after Ambrose, something like that. Alright, let me check something real quick. Let's publish this. There we go. Sweden. Oh, okay. I did guess right. Alright. I'm not horrendously geographically illiterate then. Right. Well, what I was doing just before, I was hoping to finish this prior, but I didn't. But we're clearing out some pages here for, whatchamacallit? Tag Team Arena here. So we'll make sure this gets down to as close to 0 as possible. I do want to use all my tokens. This is, for anyone who doesn't know, I do, I guess 30 fights. 30 fights a day in Tag Team Arena, most days. So I bought the extra, the extra refill for 15 gems. Use Georgian every day. I would if I would probably would if I had him. Georgian, Eosu, and Empress. Oh, that's fun. That's a good combo. How's it going, Lou? My shard plan for all these events? I think I talked about it in my fusion plan video, but I'm skipping the summon rush. I'm gonna go probably more aggressive with the hero's path because I'm assuming there's something special because it's in the middle of the week and not replacing this weekend. And then the champion chase, I will see if it's necessary after I do the hero's path. It kind of depends. So I'm skipping the 25 from this summon rush, which means that I have to at least get 50 from the hero's path. And then if 75 isn't much further, then I could see what else is there. Did I not see what's in the path? No, I literally got home an hour ago from work, so I have not watched any content, at least from today. Raphael's and April Souls. Oh, that's not that useful. Well, my goal there is I'm hoping that there's going to be a Sacred Shard Pogo event. One of those days, 2 of those days, I guess, is what they normally do. So that I just get to, I'm going more for the champion fragments and then whatever comes out of the shards. So I don't care about the souls. I mean, I have April. I don't have Raph. Good to know, though. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm out of the loop, unfortunately. So, any news that's from today, you're gonna have to tell me. You can't preserve for much longer. That's kind of the problem I'm running into right now, actually. Like, I haven't pulled a Sacred, I want to say, in like a month. It's been a long time. I mean, I'm still at 15 pulled. And like, eventually I'm not just gonna keep, ripping through my voids and shit, so. This team, okay. Is gold tag team arena that hard? I'm at 50. No. I didn't put my defense in. I forgot to put in this morning before I left, and I just got sent to the bottom. I sit at the bottom. I sit in the red all week, and then I put a defense in usually Saturday morning. That's why we're farming the one-mans to get back into normal territory. You haven't gotten a Sacred in forever. Your clan thinks nerfed. Oh no, I've been getting Sacreds. Don't get it twisted. I haven't been pulling my Sacreds. Like I think this past week. I don't remember when I last recorded, because obviously you guys see the videos when they come out, but not necessarily the day I recorded them. I think my last recorded video that was like shard based, I had like 56. So I'm up like 5 Sacreds this past week, which is high, in fairness. No, I've been getting them just like normal here. But I can definitely tell you that the rates have not been nerfed. It's just bad RNG. The thing is, when people are people are doing their assessments on that type of stuff incorrectly, right? So there's 2 things to look at. There are, let's just zoom in on Ultra Nightmare because it's the simplest example. Ultra Nightmare, you get 6 chests or sorry, you get 5 chests, and there's 6 possibilities. So that means that, practically speaking, you're guaranteed every day to get a shard or a tome, because of that's just how the probability works, because you have to get 5 out of the 6. But when you roll on the shard table, everyone looks at sacreds and says, I didn't get a sacred. But did you get an ancient? Did you get a void? Because you might have still rolled on the shard table. So typically what you'll see, if you actually looked at all the data from your month, is that, like, yes, you were down and you got less sacreds this month or this past 3 weeks, and your ancients is like twice the amount normal, because you're rolling on the shard table, but you kept hitting ancient instead of sacred. It can easily just be bad luck. And also, you know, a month is just a really, really tiny sample size. You got to look at it for like 6 months straight, and then you can start coming out and saying something's different. That's like, you know, purely statistical, mathematical background. You've been getting all voids? There you go. See, that's what I'm saying. So, yeah, you can't get both, right? So if you've been getting a lot of voids, then you also cannot be getting a lot of sacreds. It's the same reward slot. You roll on the shard table, and you will either get an ancient, a void, or a sacred. And so every time you get a void, you're not getting a sacred. And it's easy to look at it one value in a vacuum and to be like, oh my god, I'm not getting any sacreds. I was like, yeah, because you're getting a bunch of ancients or voids. The case has to close. You're getting something. You're not getting nothing. So you gotta look at the whole story there. Promoted into gold 3 last week. How do you accidentally get promoted? Like, you have to push yourself into the. You have to push yourself into the green. I wish. Wait, what? Share the tech, bro. I want to get accidentally promoted in Tag Team Arena. I have to work every freaking Sunday just to keep my rank. Although I failed last week. I usually sit in gold 2. I'm in gold 1 right now, and I was tired Sunday night, and I was like, I'm gonna take a nap for 2 hours, and if I wake up, then I can keep myself in gold 2, and if I don't wake up, then I'm going to gold 1, and well, you can figure out the rest from there. I feel like your rates for Sacred Disappearance of the Turtles come out. I mean, you can feel whatever you want to feel, but the numbers are the numbers. Like I said, again, if we're going purely off of anecdotal evidence, then I'm getting all your sacreds because my rates have been great. It's anecdotal. For every person that's having bad luck, there's someone who's having good luck who's not even paying attention because they're having good luck. Unfortunately. The rates are the same. They've always been. No, I never pushed for gold 4 because I'm hard limited by my anti-stone skin rule. There's only so many ways I can deal with meta champions plus stone skin without stone skin myself. So it just gets really difficult when everyone's in lightning cage and stone skin plus super crazy mythicals and everything. I just can't climb through it. Self-imposed limitation that caused an actual limitation. But yeah, how are folks feeling about the fusion nerf? I know the general community sentiment is always FU Plarium, regardless of what they do. But, you know, how do real people feel is my question. This is my actual my Squam team, by the way. Oh gosh, not this use more mythical stock. Hot take. Half of the power from all these mythical champions is because Stoneskin gives them a free turn. Just saying. Nice is a lot less scary when you could just CC him and he's not in Stoneskin, but everyone builds him in Stoneskin, so there's practically nothing you can do for the first turn. Unless you try to cheap him and get wanded. Same thing with Sigfrind. Sigfrind is really easy to kill. You just block his passive. But he's in Stoneskin. Or he's in Feral nowadays. In Lightning Cage. Did I ever build Arnorn? Yes, he is he's built. Arnorn he's actually mastered as well. I've been grinding. We had like a week or so where I actually could do Minotaur, and I took advantage of it. So he's built. Savage. No, he is okay. I did finish him. I forgot. Barely. Yeah, he's fully mastered, fully everything. Where does he sit? 196. 270% crit damage. Nothing crazy. I need to like. Actually, no. His gear is ascended. I need to re-roll the gloves eventually. But yeah, now he's built. You agree with the nerf, but you're speaking as a guy who wouldn't go for it anyways. Yeah, fair enough. No skin in the game, so you're a little bit less caring. Fair enough. And knowing when they change forms and Stoneskin is still on. Yeah, I mean that is a relic of what? Oh. That's a relic of just how the game is designed, because their turn isn't over. So your turn ends when your turn ends and not before. So if you counterattack before their turn ends, their turn didn't end. And I'm talking about like a Marius versus a mythical here. It is what it is. You would like it would be weird, but you'd have to say. I mean, I don't think it could really make sense if you were to say Marius should counterattack after their turn ends, after they transform. Like that sequencing doesn't really make sense from a coding standpoint. Even though that would feel better, obviously. You can enfeeble a mythical who's in Stoneskin. Whoa! Ella Wubs. Jeez, my ears. I love Wubs, but not that much. Still doing the fusion? Nice, nice, nice. Overblown. That's my opinion. But you know, people are gonna. It's Plarium, so people are gonna be angry no matter what. That's why it's like whatever. Oh. Okay. That is why we have Harima in the team, folks. So he doesn't ignore all of our defense, and that doesn't literally kill everyone. Still, it's always scary when he counters with the both minions. Mythicals with their passive to prevent death, plus relics, so you don't need Stoneskin if you got the champions. Yeah, well, sure. If you got the champions is a massive, like, assumption slash caveat there, right? That's like saying Demon Spawn Faction Wars is super easy if you have Duchess. It's like, well yeah. It's a loaded. It's not wrong, but it's a loaded. That's a very loaded statement. Terrible, terrible times two. All right, one more run here, then we'll run the campaign. Yeah, I will definitely post that in. I would definitely post that in someone's comment section, and I will say I will put your username in there and say that you said to post this. You cool with the nerf? You just wish they would do more testing for releasing champions. I agree. However, I don't think that criticism is valid in this instance. And maybe you guys can correct me if I'm wrong here, because I didn't actually watch. You know, I think Bronco in his video. But we can't argue and say that the showcase was unrealistic and that no one can do it. This is impossible. No one can do this. And then also say, why didn't you test this, Plarium? Because it's like, now you're saying, why didn't you guys test the thing that no one can do? It's like, well, if no one can do it, then why would they test it? Right? Like, so that's not this is not the instance to use that argument. Well, the right instance, in my opinion, again, this is my opinion, you can disagree. April O'Neil. That one is a huge QA miss. Where it's like, oh shit, she nullified bosses and bosses don't do anything. And it's like, guys, how does that happen, right? So, in general, I agree though. They need a better, longer QA time, more QA people. But I think Maria is not the case where it's a QA issue. Or we're just contradicting ourselves and saying they should have tested something that is not meant to happen normally. I don't know. It's a weird position to take. Because then you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. Which means you have a bad argument, in my opinion. Yeah, Duchess and it's still hard. Yeah, well, yeah, I you know, maybe not hard mode would be easy with Duchess. But nonetheless. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Or Volcanos. I don't know what you're referring to there. Oh, just champions with passives like Volcanos. I gotcha. Mask of Disquiet. You know what that one is. Let's look. Nothing new there. This is the wrong place. Does anyone else do this? I go to the Altar of Souls thinking it's the relic place. I don't know why. What was it called? Mask of Disquiet. That's not jumping off the page at me. I was like, it must be one of these like random things. This one. 30% chance plus 40, 50, 60, 80, 100. Oh wow. 100% chance of instant turn after returning from it. Oh, okay, so you take your turn as a sheep and then you get another turn afterward, I think. Interesting. Huh. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna get into the whole Trunda thing, but I do think this, to your point, I think it's overblown. It's just people are overreacting. But at the same time, like I said, people are chomping at the bit to be mad at Plarium, so anything that they can be mad at, they will be. Warranted or otherwise. So I'm not out here being a shill for like, I'm not trying to defend Plarium necessarily, but like, it's just pick your battles. People want to get mad about everything versus just get mad about the really bad, egregious oversteps and stuff like that, in my opinion. Oh, see the Harima build? Yes. Take a look at her. She is 6-star awakened, so bear that in mind. TTBT, how's it going? Happy Saturday indeed. Temuverse, hello. Or Temuverse. Yeah, my Harima is in lethal and killstroke. The one champion on my account who has that gear set on, but crit damage and speed. But it's because I got this piece and this piece. God tier pieces. So I had to use them. But yeah, total stats on my Harima: 50,000, 7,200 on the defense, 266, full crit rate, 343 on the crit damage. So she has my best defensive base nuker gear absent of accuracy. Because she is basically my best defense-based nuker, I think. I think that's a true statement. You could argue about Marius, but he needs accuracy, so they're built a little bit differently. Or a lot differently, actually. They mostly deserve to... Oh, yeah, absolutely. Again, I like... People can easily misconstrue what I'm saying as defending Plarium, but it's just like, this is not the hill I'm dying on. I will definitely fight for the Trunda nerf that's not going to happen, and the Titus nerf that is also not going to happen, and the Siegfried nerf that's also not going to happen. But I'm not dying on the hill of, we nerfed a champion for this broken thing one day into the fusion. That's not the hill I'm dying on. Could they have communicated it better? Absolutely. But this is not the one to fight, in my opinion. Again, this is me. You can disagree. Yours is in Swift Parry. Swift Parry, Swift Parry is against my personal rules, so I don't have anyone built in Swift Parry, but I don't know if that's meta much anymore, aside from like Carnages, maybe. A Carnage and Swift Parry, when it procs, it's scary as hell, because like he's 1 HP, he steals your buffs, and then he just kills whoever he swapped HP with because they're now 1 HP. That's one of the scariest things. But obviously it can just not proc and he dies. So Stone Skin Swift Parry, I've seen that. Not a lot, but I've seen a lot of, I've seen a fair amount of Stone Skin Swift Parry Carnages. Sneaky good. Same thing happened to Uragrim. Sort of. Uragrim wasn't a fusion, but he was nerfed before being added to the game, so it's similar. Well, that's the thing. If you really like, if you take off your player hat for a minute and just look back through history, you will find an instance, no matter what arguments people make, Plarium, they've gotten mad at Plarium for every step of the way when they announce nerfs, which just tells you that people just don't like nerfs. It doesn't matter when it happens. We got mad at nerfs that were from the test server. They tested the champion. The players gave the feedback and said, hey, this is kind of broken. And they nerfed like Giscard the Sigiled before he even entered the game. People were pissed. Uragrim, he was very close to entering the game. He got nerfed. People got pissed. There was people who came into the game afterward. They nerfed. People were pissed. In this case, Maria, a couple of days into the game, they nerfed. People got pissed. It doesn't matter. People are going to get pissed. It's a nerf. So it's like, you know, there's always a deeper level of what people are actually mad about, but a nerf that everyone's going to be mad no matter what, because it's like, well, I want to do the broken thing. Even if they can't do it. That's the best part. All right, I'm ranting. Gotta get off my soapbox here, folks. Wish you had that damage on your Harima. Yeah, it's if you invest in the gear. Ooh. You're right. You're right. It is different people every time. I will grant you that. People don't understand the concept of balance? Absolutely. Well, a lot of people, balance is helps me. That's full stop. Their extent of balance the game is help me. And if it doesn't help me, then I don't like it. And it's like, cool, that's a terrible game, but, you know, you can hope for that, I guess. Do you think Raph's 5-star soul is worth it for him specifically? If you have him, yeah. I mean, 5-star doesn't matter, but if going to the getting the 5-star unlocks the 4-star, then yes. We'll have to see if it's incremental or if it's well, maybe people already know. But if it's incremental, I would stop at 4. 5-star does nothing on him. I don't think it'd be 6. I want to thank you. Resource management tips helped you become a better free-to-play since you stopped spending and you built Sigfrind. It hurts your heart to see me not using him. Oh, no, no, no. You're not kidding. Tell me how you really feel. But I appreciate the compliment. Thank you. I mean, that's the goal, though. Help, you know. There's a... I mean, free-to-play and spending they're completely different games. So... showing people what's possible with free-to-play is definitely the goal. Boundary Fool can't afford the fusion, but you want some of the benefits. So I've never been in that position where I'm like, because I do every fusion, so I'm never in the position where like, do I just not do the events if I'm not doing the fusion? But I wonder hypothetically, I guess I could just grind Minotaur more. But, you know, for like champion training, I want like the legendary tome, so I'd still do that. But what ends up happening, you know, part of my logic for doing every fusion is that if I didn't do the fusions, then I would be farming Minotaur, I'd be farming Sand Devil, and I'd be farming Phantom Shogun's Grove. And I would literally not be getting any gear aside from like Curse City and Forge. So like, if I want to continue getting stuff from Dragon, Fire Knight, all the other stuff, then I actually need to do fusions. Otherwise, I would just be farming dust until the day I die. Because rerolling gear is my priority. Is it better to do the progressive or wait for the 2x? If you're not doing the fusion, there's no reason to pull this weekend. If you don't need one of the souls from the Hero's Path that starts in a couple of days, then there's no reason to pull. The following weekend, I think, is 2x Ancients, which is never a bad time to pull. That's what I would say there. First live stream, but you attended, but you watched the videos? Oh, welcome in, welcome in. This is technically not my normal stream time. I'm a little bit later today because I had to work this morning. But well, I'll be here for a couple hours or so. We'll see how long. There's no, I didn't really announce an end to this. We'll just kind of see and play it by ear. What are we worth resources wise? You skip the summon rush, go for the plus 50 in the Hero's Path. Hard to say. I will not definitively say that's the best way to go. That is the way that I'm going based on other factors. But historically speaking, it could be cheaper in the long run if you get 50 fragments from the Hero's Path by spending, let's just throwing out fake numbers here. Let's say you spend 6 Sacreds and 40 Ancients. No, sorry. 6 Sacreds and 60 Ancients, which is the equivalent of doing the Summon Rush and the Champion Chase on average. And you could do that all in one Summon Rush, or something even less than that in one Summon Rush, then it would be cheaper overall across all 3 events in terms of shards. Which historically tends to be the case. Crap. It's less important, that consideration, because it's probably going to be 2x Ancients, which is just easy to do. So it's less important, but when it's a fusion that's like 2x Sacreds plus Summon Rush, it can be cheaper overall just to do the Hero's Path and not even worry about the Champion Chase or the basic Summon Rush. So it depends. That's not a guaranteed answer. And of course, it's a gamble, right? I'm not out here saying I can predict the future. I know exactly that it's going to cost you 10 Sacreds on the Hero's Path, therefore it's a better value. We'll see. No clue. Watched Biohack streams and used to play? Oh, okay. I thought doesn't he still play? I didn't watch him in particular, but so I'm out of the loop on that one. If your goal is just to get one epic from the fragments, is he worth it? Is he worth it? I don't know. That's up to you. Yeah, of course. You can always make an educated guess. That's where the numbers I'm quoting are from historical precedents. That's what I have fresh in my mind. And so that informs my decisions. But everyone's not necessarily going to have that historical context or think about it or have. I honestly don't remember what the epic does. I need to do a better job in the fusion plan videos of actually talking about the epic, because I never remember to. He's Sylvan Watcher. Leech on the A1, AoE Fear, and counterattack on himself. Increased defense on everyone. I don't know. This is one of the champions that I don't know what you use him for. Like maybe Chimera, like trials, like you got Leech trial. I mean, but this is a Fear on a 3-turn cooldown, so most of the time it's not going to be there, and your DPS is still going to die. I don't know. Ally protection, or no, increased defense. If it was AoE increased res, maybe, but they wouldn't put that on a Void Epic. At least not the big version, it'd be the small version. I don't know. He doesn't seem that useful to me, but I'm also redonkulously endgame, so that my lens is Very, very skewed. Also, side note, if you guys didn't know, they changed how the index works. So if you don't actually actively have the champion, they are grayed out, which I like personally, because there are so many fusions that, like the one going on right now, that, you know, it has a void epic in it, and then I need to use all the void epics, and then I'm like, wait, do I still have the champion or not? Because I use them all. So like Diana was a former epic fusion who I've yet to pull since that fusion, whenever it was. So I like this current format where it just shows you what you actually have. Same thing for rares. It's always annoying, like I've pulled the rare before and then I fed them as a chicken, so I don't have them right now, and it's nice to know, like, oh, I actually don't have that rare, let me keep an eye out for them. I made you think you're crazy. Yeah. I mean, I'm in the weeds when it comes to raid, so like I'm always looking for like this tiniest little patch notes and tweaks. I'm like, oh, cool. I like that update, albeit small, but it's nice. Did they announce it? It was in the patch notes. That's what all I'll say. They kind of mentioned it. What microphone am I using? This is the HyperX Quadcast RGB, I think. It's definitely the Quadcast for sure. Airbud used to be your favorite. Yeah. I adopted, not many people know this, but my strategy when it comes to, or my shard strategy was adapted from Airbud's approach. When he did that collaboration forever ago now with Hell Hades, I was like, oh, that's a good idea. Let me do that. Like, we're mostly aligned. I think I'm slightly different than him, or than he was, because he doesn't play anymore, unfortunately. RIP. But we're more or less the same basis for the approach. So, fun fact, little trivia there. Hashtag inspired. Recently, oh, you're looking into get? Yeah, I like it. I mean, you tell me if it sounds good. But yeah, I just have it. I have it set to blue, but obviously you can change colors. I used to have it like just rainbow, but because of the green screen behind me, like it would just like disappear because of the green, and so I was like, all right, let me just fix the color and not have it disappear in the frame. Because I feel like that would just draw a lot of attention to the microphone instead of, you know, me rambling. Because that's what people watch the videos for. The rambling. I heard about it was dope. Started seeing, yeah. So honestly, I think it was the free-to-play challenges that took him out. That's why people have asked me over the years, why don't I compete in that? And I'm like, dude, I don't have the time. Running a pure free-to-play account takes a lot of time, especially the way we play, like super meticulously resource-wise. I can't imagine trying to do that for two separate accounts to the same level of proficiency. I'd have to skip, or I'd have to give up something somewhere, including like IRL. Like obviously, you know, we both have full-time jobs and everything, so it's just like I don't have the time to do that. Or it would just get neglected, which is what happens for a lot of the creators that do the free-to-play challenge. They play for like a month or 3 weeks, and they're like, I don't have time for this, and then they just quit. It's like, well, why start if I'm not going to finish it? Also, it's temporary, and I you know, my strategy is so long-term oriented that I don't even know if I could actually play, you know, for a 3-month period or a 2-month period and focus in on just trying to grind versus make gains long-term. So you won't see me in those things, that's for sure. No wonder you gravitated towards me, because you used his tactics. Yep, we are very similar. I was hoping to kind of like build up enough of an audience to eventually work with him, but as I was still kind of developing is when he disappeared, sadly, so that dream is dead. Lack of new things. Well, no. Okay, so there's what he said, and I mean, obviously, you know, he can say how he feels. I think it was a combination of things. Saying there's nothing new in the game, it's like, dude, wait 3 more months, there's gonna be something new in the game. I think that's a bad argument if you're being honest with yourself. You know, we've gotten tons of new crap in the game, right? I think it was burnout. That's my suspicion of the actual truth, but he can, you know, he said what he said, so I guess we can take him at his word. Okay, cool. Push through, ended up getting Lydia on the challenge account. Respect. You said he achieved everything. Oh, I already talked about that, yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. Boozer's nuts. Yeah, the math ain't math in there for me. Like, he's got a wife and a kid, and he plays 2 accounts and still works full time, and I'm just like, But I do, if I had to guess though, I think it's just having a family obviously takes time, but then also having a partner to help you with said family is probably going to, you know, offset the things. Whereas for me, like I'm single at the moment, and so nothing gets done unless I do it, if that makes sense. And so I have to spend a lot of time just living life. On top of trying to, you know, play the game, make content, etc. So it's like there's no one to put the kid to bed if there was a in the situation. 4 a.m. though is nuts. I get up at 6 a.m. usually. I got up at 6 today. He was tempted to come back when Hard Faction Wars, but decided not to. Aw, that's a shame. We'd love to have him. Although, I mean, I'd be keen to see how far he could get with where his roster was, but I don't think he would be doing much better than me and or Boozer. You hate when life gets in front of you playing the game? Dude, right? It's like, no, boss, I will not finish this. I need to... I have a champion training tournament to work on. You get your report next week. What do you mean I'm fired? Is this base house from boss fight? Okay. Oh, cool. All right, so we're out of commons finally, so we can switch a bit to power level mode here. Get me a partner so I can play more raid. If only it were that simple. Unfortunately, partners also take time. So I don't think I think in long term that would probably save me time, but in the short term I'd have to spend time with said partner. So that wouldn't solve my immediate problem, would it? I forgot to level it up. I'm still like, I don't know about you guys, but I'm still like readjusting my champion training like autopilot clicks because of the new brew upgrade system, and so bouncing back between these two now is tripping me up. So I forget to like do half of it now sometimes. Still a good change though. It's a lot smoother. I just have to like, eventually it'll be ingrained as the previous process was, but obviously you spend years and months doing the same thing repetitively, you kind of get stuck in the ways. Eventually I'll adapt. That's true. Yeah, yep. I do. I know how this works. I may be single, but I'm aware of how the people locked down are. You haven't adapted either, still doing it the old way. I'm because it's so convenient, I'm definitely like more inclined to do it the right way. I just sometimes forget some of the steps because I'm going back and forth before it was really sequential. And now it's like go up and then go down and then go back up and then you're done. And sometimes I just like forget because I'm used to being like, oh, once I upgraded them, I'm done. Like, well, no, hold on. Feed me slowly. What's up? How's it going? How's it going? Only have it a couple times at the beginning. Now you need to pay attention to not spend on your brews. Yeah, dude, I'm so afraid of. I mean, well, maybe not in one go because like there's a maximum, but I am afraid of hitting the max button and just like yeeting a bunch of brews into someone I didn't mean to. I definitely kind of slow down at that bit. Make sure I don't. It's like, oh, did you mean to take that 6-star to level 60 with 500 brews? No. Can I undo that? A person can keep you from going overboard or partner. Yeah, see, but I can't risk that, man. I can't risk it. I gotta maintain my account. I gotta grind. Can't have her holding me back. These gains won't gain themselves. Know what I mean? No, I mean, like, jokes aside, for a long time, long ago, I had ridiculously unhealthy habits when it came to raid. Where, like, basically my day was working around the raid schedule instead of the other way around. And it got pretty miserable to the point where I was like, all right, I'm going to stop playing for an indefinite amount of time. I'm going to reset my life. And then if I decide to come back, I'm going to flip it around and my life revolves around my life. And then raid fits in when it can. And that took 3 months. Well, not took, but I allowed that to go on for 3 months. And then I came back. And here I am, years later. How's it going, Crop? What's up, man? Alright. 3 out of 4. Keep it going. We'll keep cruising. Oh, crap. Dungeon Divers ends today, huh? Okay. Well, that's why we're doing the clan shop energy today. I should be able to do this without having to burn a bunch of gems, which is kind of the goal. 1,000 to go, and then I need to do... I think the clan shop energy will get us to at least 3,000, somewhere around there. You feel like guys turning around? Oh yeah, no, like just as an example, like there are times where like I would be like after work, I'd be grinding, I'd be dead tired, and it's like, all right, set alarm for a 30-minute nap so I could get back up and finish Ice Golem, and then I could go to bed. And, you know, and it's like, oh crap, I didn't finish. All right, I'm still tired. All right, set an alarm for 20 more minutes, take another power nap, get back up, finish Fire Night. It's like, what the fuck am I doing? You know, like, dude, take it easy. Just pixels, you know. Like I still get things done, obviously, but it's just like I'm not. If it's so bad that I'm trading sleep for game time, then I'm just not gonna get the thing. It's like, it's not that deep. But I typically just arrange things so that I have time to actually complete them within reason. Skip at the fusion, nice. Testing Palm? I don't know what that is. Oh, Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. Yeah, that's unhealthy. Absolutely. Like that's not an endorsement, folks. That's a disclaimer. Don't do that. And I was doing that for I don't even want to know how long. Like, similar things I was doing, just manipulating. It's like, all right, well, let me get up at 2 a.m. to finish this tag team arena tournament to try and win so I can get Relentless gear. It's like, dude, go to sleep. Heroes of Might and Magic. I assume that's a... I don't even know. Is that a gacha game? I don't venture very far out of my my niche of Raid and the core 3 games I play. Excusez-moi. You have 4-star soul for Leo. You don't have Leo. Is it worth... If there is a path, do you think it's worth going for the 5? No. Unless you need accuracy resistance on him for some reason, which I don't think is the case. So 4-star, you're good to go. Skip the soul. Warrior, what's up? You came out to play. I haven't actually seen that movie. Gotta make sure we hydrate and drink water. All right, 400 energy down. We're grinding. We are grinding today. Did I skip the summon rush? Yes. That is the plan. Yeah, logic being, I am in Sacred Mercy, which means I really want a Sacred Pogo. I am betting, I could be wrong, but I am betting that there is going to be a Sacred Pogo during the midweek Heroes Path because it's in the middle of the week, and they usually do Pogos in the middle of the week, not over the weekends. So, assuming that is the case, then there's better value for me from my Sacreds during the Heroes Path. If I'm wrong, then I eat crow. Simple as. Reactivating cult game from 1999. Oh, okay. Cool, cool. Yeah, what's the offerings again? I mean, Leo, obviously, Grisor. Grisor, he kind of came and went for my wish list. I've got, like, Marius took his, what his spot would have been, so I don't really care about Grisor. And then I happen to have 2 Anorak. But for me, if I was going to do it, I would do it with Voids. That's why I'm looking at these. So we're guaranteed to get Leo, most likely. So that wouldn't be as valuable. And then for the, like, normal shards, the only person I would want is Freya. And then it doesn't really matter who else. But the problem there is that if I'm right and I get, or if I'm right and there is a Sacred Pogo and I were to pull my Sacreds now, proc Mercy, roll on the 15x, not get her because it's a 5% chance, I'd be sad. More sad than if I just roll the dice on 2 legendaries during a Pogo event and roll on the whole table. Even though I'm less likely to get Freya, in the second option, just getting 2 legendaries is just, it feels, you know, feels better. But again, I could be wrong. That's a pure speculation there. What if they do a full 50 from the path, not 2 times 25s? Unlikely. That's possible, but typically it is 3 separate nodes of 25. That's just historically speaking. They could do that though, so you're not inherently wrong. But if they did, then I get to either, even if that is the case, in my situation, I have tons of shards, so it doesn't really matter, right? I can do whatever they throw at me that I want to participate in. And then I have flexibility, so I can skip something So Dungeon Divers 2, I can just not do it. So either way, it's still a win-win for me. But I acknowledge that not everyone has the freedom and flexibility to operate in that way, where you can just react however you want to react to whatever they do. So, grain of salt. It's not a recommendation. Ooh, we almost did it! We almost did the max. It can happen. It'll be a sad day. Alright, down here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Actually, wait. Oh yeah, I did that right. Okay. Skrank! You are the chosen one today, sir. Welcome to the vault, future chicken. We're distracting you? No, I'm distracting myself. I would never put that on you guys. If anyone's curious, this is what the end game becomes. Like, super end game. But, like, I don't have enough champions to build on a regular and consistent basis. So right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 5-star chickens just sitting there. So I could 6-star, what, 3 champions? I do not have 3 champions to 6-star. So we keep making chickens. The grind never stops. All right, how we doing here? Cool. Win for the Pogos only twice. You got Vizig. I do. I think I remember that happening. I don't go for all of them. It depends on my mercy, but I try to set myself up so that I can go for them, I guess is my approach. But most of the time you just get crap, but every once in a while you're eventually gonna get something good. That's kind of my mindset when it comes to that. Or, you know, when I say crap, it could just be a faction guardian. So that might seem like crap because it's a duplicate, and then also all of a sudden, like when I got well, I guess Balancer is a bad example, but just getting more duplicates can, in the long term, be beneficial. So. When does your account start overflowing with 5-star chickens? It depends how you play. I mean, I do a lot of champion training, so that's also a caveat there. That's part of the equation. Like, basically, I call myself a tome chaser, so anytime there's a legendary and or mythical tome up for grabs from champion training, I will grind it out all the way. That's what I'm doing now. Like, I'm already past the fusion fragments. So I live in the campaign, and then I flex into dungeons and other stuff in arena. But like I said, that's eventually that is what the game becomes. I can't say exactly how long that would take. It depends who you have and the order you pull them. What are you actively working on? What don't you have capabilities towards? And so, you know, I'm at the point where, like, if someone comes into the game and it's like, hey, we added a new champion you just pulled and they are only useful on S16, and I'm like, sweet, I'm building them because I have nothing else to build, even if it's one stage of the Curse City. Because I'm looking for any reason at this point to build a champion just to use the chickens. Otherwise I just keep making more, waiting for that to happen. I guess I mentioned earlier, like I 6-starred Esme like 2 days ago, because she may help us with this stage, and if she doesn't, that will be sad. But that's the only reason I had summoned her and built her out. Because gotta do them chickens. Gotta use. The hell? Hydra team with Marius and Crocat that did 1 billion damage. Well, what's the rest of the team? I mean, damage is important, but what's the supports around the damage? That matters a lot. I assume Packmaster. Like, is it something? Is it a normal team or is it a crazy team? On auto is kind of nuts. Oh, this is a bop, dude. You almost finished the masteries on Doggo and Shaik. I finished the masteries. So over the past week, where I actually had time finally to do Minotaur, I finished Crocad's masteries. I finished Whisper 2, her masteries, and then I finished Arnorn's masteries. And I think Queen Ava as well. I think she was like at the very tail end of hers. I think. Let me check my notes. Oh nope, I lied. Whisper 2 is still in work. I finished Arnorn, Queen Ava, and Crocad. And then I just started Packmaster and I'm finishing up Whisper 2. Ozarius, Packmaster, Mad Hatter, Feral. Wait. That's 6. Oh, Hydra. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Yeah, Lazarius, Packmaster, Mad Hatter, and Feral. That makes sense. I mean, if you have a protection Feral, your Lazarius is block debuffs. Packmaster and Crocat are together, and then Mad Hatter's bringing in Crocat, obviously. Then Marius is just doing Marius things. Makes sense. Now, if you can only pull Laz and Feral, I know, right? Dude, not that I am, I'm not in a position to fairly request more mythicals, so let me put that disclaimer out there. But, if I were to get another one, I'd be down with the Lazarius for sure. Or a Commodus, one of the two. Actually, they haven't added a mythical for a while now. No word out of me. Just, you know, I'm not trying to manifest that necessarily. But if that were to somehow happen, that's who I'd be looking for. You know, just saying. Just saying. We are due for 2x primals, just saying. You know, just saying. Make of that what you will. All right. Oh, what did we hit? We hit a milestone. What did we do? Oh, the summon rush. Okay. Will I get to 300? I don't know if I will. I wouldn't mind getting the gems, to be honest. Dude, you know what I could do? I won't, but I could. If this was legendary, I probably would have. I just would have ripped like 3,000 mystery shards. But not for epic fragments are worth so little for Maud bits. How many primals would I pull during the 2x? I would pull enough to get the legendary tome. That's my usual stopping point. But usually when it's 2x primals, there's something else going on. So there might be like relic fragments at like 4,000 that I would go for, or there'd be a not champion fragments. There'd be, what was the other thing? What have they done in the past? I guess it could have been a deck of Fate. Guaranteed champion. I think I've pulled 40 primals for that before. But numerically, probably 30-ish, give or take, depending on RNG, of course. So about half. All of them? No, then I'd have 0. Can't do that. Galathir, Laz, or Crixia? I was on the Crixia train until Fabian came out, and now I'm like, I don't really want her anymore. Like, they're ever so slightly different, but I think he's just general purpose, he's better. But with the huge caveat that if you get locked out, you can just change forms and reset, which is an unbeatable capability by comparison. But just not being worried about polymorph until you use your A2. That is nice. Or like the lockout without getting sheeped is nice by comparison, versus you have to build Crixia and Pinpoint, otherwise you get locked out, or you get sheeped. But Fabian, you don't necessarily have to build him in Pinpoint if you're not depending on his True Fears and whatnot. It's optional, I guess is the point, versus mandatory. Crixia is going to get sheeped like crazy. On average. Depends what you go against. Yeah, and granted, polymorph is kind of being phased out a little bit. What out for a newer player? Would you never go for... would you never go to 0 for a 2x event? Depends how new. Depends how new is the answer to that question. Well, the way I go about it is that my mantra is that I pull with a purpose. So if I have 50 ancients and I get everything I need from the champion chase in 40, then I just stop at 40. If I needed more, then I would be forced to pull down to 0 because I don't have a choice. And it's just incrementally over time, you need less than you gain, assuming you're farming your Demon Lord clan boss high levels and whatnot every day. And eventually you reach a point where you just gain more than you spend, if you're meticulous about how far you go. I don't do YOLO sessions very, very often. Maybe like once or twice a year, and even that's kind of a stretch. Granted, my type of YOLO session is very different from the general sense of the word. Honestly, it blows my mind. Like, I love watching it for the sense of like the dopamine, but when I'm seeing someone just rip through their shards like a summon rush, they just pull and pull and pull, and they go to the summon rush that maxes out at 10,000 points, and they're at 20,000. And it's just like, what the hell are you doing? Like, what was the point? Like, why'd you double the maximum milestone? You're not getting anything anymore. Chasing a champion that you may or may not get, you know? But that's just, it's a difference in approach. My shards always have to get me something, because the odds of getting something good is always there. That's a baseline, so I don't really care about that. That's not part of my consideration. And so it's like my shards need to actively get me something. But every once in a while, when it comes to Mercy and stuff, then it is just a chance. YOLO'd yesterday, 10 HP got Wixwell. Nice. It can always happen. That's one of the things that came out of the Boozer collaboration was that fact that he had, because he's a little bit more liberal with his shard pulling, he had a lot more legendaries than me in general. So my approach is optimized around the maximum value for the least amount of shards, which means by default, any other average account will have more champions than me, more legendary champions, because your YOLOs will outweigh by me skipping. Like, that's just how the math works. And that doesn't necessarily mean that my quality will be higher either. It's not a given, right? It's just that I'm a little bit more targeted. So there's not necessarily a right or wrong way. But it's just that my way is optimized around having the most amount of shards versus having the most amount of champions. You always hear from those who YOLO and win, and you don't hear from those who YOLO'd and don't win. True. What's it called? Selection? No, not selection bias. Why am I blanking? What is that term? Survivor bias. There you go. Yep. Survivorship bias. Titus and Wixwell, I guess you can hoard shards. I mean, you're Titus and Wixwell, you're set, man. Good luck. Enjoy your manual play for the rest of your life. XD. This is Tut Tut Child. This is Tut Tut Child. Dead men tell no tales. Yeah. History is written by the victors. What did I do? I did Steel Boyer. This is like my little OCD thing where I like all of the champions to be unique if possible, except for the commons, because there's just like 10 commons. But we did Magister as well, which means it's Lamellar's turn. You're in, bud. Just remembered you have 2 Wixwells the other day and wondering if that enabled an auto Titus count. Honestly, I've never seen anyone run double Wixwell. I don't see why you couldn't. Right? Maybe. I don't know how much buff extension is required for the Titus crap. Tournament, go away. How many Geos do I have? Are there a bunch of Geos? Where do you see Geo? Oh, these Geos. I think I have 4 Geos. I don't use any of them. Have to look it up at some point. Yeah, I'm not the guy, so I don't subscribe to any of the Infinity style teams, so I will defer to those who know. All right, how are we doing here? Got the relic fragments, nice. We're at 10k, cool. We still got a day and a half, so there's no rush. The only rush is that doing all this energy now, or doing all this campaign now, gives me the divers points. So we're at 10k there. Speaking of divers, we're not quite done, but we're almost, yeah, I think we'll be right around 3k once I get through the last 200 energy. Fantastic. Whoa, don't do that. Oh, we're out of food. Just need a better team for clan boss. Yours sucks. Dude, mine does too, bro. I feel you. I kid. Comes with time. You gotta play long enough to get the champions who will do the things that you need. Unfortunately. I don't think most of the starter like promo code champions really do anything for early game clan boss. I don't think they give out, maybe they used to give out Taragi, but I don't think they give you like ally protection champions for a nested ally protection, or like a Demitha or something. Oh, man. This is one of those mind-numbing days for sure. We just kind of turn your brain off and just keep hitting replay. Vulcan's start wasn't bad. Johanrock, Mikey, Vergis, Annex, Tagore, and Deacon. Oh, has. That was. Yeah, I mean, that'll get you going for sure. That's a solid base. Annex is one of my favorite epics in the game who I barely use. Like, I wish I had more places to use him. Like, if I broke my principle and ran an unkillable clan boss team, Demon Lord, I would be running, I would force myself to run a team where I could fit Annex in, because I think it's just that fun by comparison. But I don't. You love his design? Yeah, likewise. I love the way he looks, and I love that he does a lot of damage. I love his design. He's up there for sure. Like top 10 like aesthetic epics. Like Kenagashi, another one of my favorite like aesthetic epics. Super cool model. You have to camp your keys every day to be able to farm Ultra Nightmare and Nightmare because it takes 3 keys to get 70 mil. Look, we've all been there. We've all been there. Do not feel bad. You gotta grind through the early game to get to anywhere else. It's one step at a time. So, yep, I did the same thing years and years ago now, but same deal. I was 3 key in Ultra Nightmare. I got lucky though. I pulled Skull Crusher pretty early on. So I had an AoE counterattack. And then I pulled Grush early as well, the 240 day dude, epic. I pulled him early, so I had AoE counterattack with Leech. And that was like the basis for my team for a very long time. Every person here did this? Yep, absolutely. I mean, when you start off playing, you're at 0 keys for Ultra Nightmare, so you gotta work at it. How many stars do we need for the Hero's Path? We won't know. We won't know until it goes live. And from my personal perspective, there's no point speculating. Because who knows? But historically speaking, I would say that the 25... So the way it's laid out, there's 75 fragments up for grabs, right? In theory, because it does include Dungeon Divers as well, and there's 25 fragments base with 50 bonus, the 25 should be achievable with Dungeon Divers alone, and there's a big caveat there on should, right, because it's Dungeon Divers. But you should be able to Dungeon Dive with, you know, some Gems Energies, get 25, and then you should only have to do a little bit or some amount of shard pulling to get the rest of them. So that being said, they're usually in line with normal Summon Rush, so I would expect that 6 Sacreds-ish would get you 25 separate 25 fragments,